Hi, Bo Huffman here from the Hastings and Kearney GNCs. We want each and every single person to live well each and every day. So whatever your health need, question, or concern, we're here to do just that for you. So whether it's a multivitamin, a fish oil, a calcium, whatever the case may be, we want you to live well each and every day to get the most out of your life.
Hey guys, welcome to a Boys State edition of the SportsHub. I'm Connor. This is Nathan Hart. We have Boys State kicking off this Thursday in Lincoln, but before we talk about boys, we're going to talk about the girls a little bit, wrap up their state last weekend. We didn't have any Hub Territory state champions, but Minden came pretty close to it. First loss of the season in that championship game against Pierce. But Brooke Kissinger had a huge 29-point game in the semifinal against Platteview. She ends her career just with a ton of three-pointers. I mean, she really lit it up from outside this weekend. Not able to get that coveted state championship, but that's not the last time we're going to hear from Brooke Kissinger.
Yeah, we had two buzzer-beating heroes in the quarterfinal round, first with Kearney Catholic and Maddie Squires. She really played well all weekend, but her highlight was against Bishop Newman in the quarterfinal. Hits the winning basket with 2.9 seconds to go, draws a foul as well, and Stars escape by 3 to make it to the semifinal round. And then we also had Haley Schroeder for Holdridge. Holdridge was playing, they weren't playing the greatest against York, and they started fouling, started coming back. York started missing their free throws, but they still had to make plays. Schroeder made the biggest of them all. With about 10 seconds to go, they drove down the court. She gets the ball at the baseline, hits a 12-footer. As the buzzer expires, they go to overtime, win it in overtime. Schroeder's the hero.
It was an exciting weekend in girls basketball, even though it didn't get that Hub Territory state championship. Still plenty of exciting action. We have 6 Hub Territory teams for the boys this weekend, and it starts with Kearney Catholic. The Stars got into the state field. They're an 8 seed, but all that matters is they're in.
They're there, and if you look at Class C1, it's really a wide open field. Kearney Catholic's path there, the district was a little wide open. The whole field is. They get SCOTUS in the first round. Obviously, SCOTUS has earned the 1 seed. But here's a SCOTUS team that beat GICC in the regular season by 2 points. That's the team the Stars beat to make it to the state. And you look at the Stars, they have more than double-digit losses, but I wouldn't take them lightly, and no team there should take them lightly either. You have Blake Holtmeyer playing really well, Matt Moore's coming along playing really well the last couple of weeks. They just seem to have an extra edge this past couple of weeks. I'm sure Scott Carlin, their coach, is preaching that they can win it just as much as anybody. I think they should have that confidence, should have that belief, even though, a 15-11 record probably wouldn't scream that they can pull off an upset. I think it's very possible for the Stars to do that.
State experience from last year as well, an underrated aspect going into this tournament.
Although a lot of those guys did not get playing time.
Very true, but you got your Blake Holtmeyers, your Matt Moore, guys that have been in that situation. Yeah. And then we have Cozad too, another C1 team, a team that's playing its best basketball at the end of the year. Haymakers, maybe not a team that would have been picked to finish to end their season in Lincoln, but right now they're really rolling.
Yeah, really their second half of their season they've come along strong. Here's a team that finished their football season in Lincoln winning the state title, and maybe that was the reason they started a little slow for basketball season. We've talked about that a lot this year. And they've come on strong in the second half of the season. Since January 18, they've only lost once, and that was to a really good given team. Yeah. They get Wayne in the first round. Wayne's got a couple 17-point-per-game scorers, including a 6'5" guy, Ben Hoskins. So they're going to have their hands full, but like I said with Kearney Catholic, C1 field is a little bit wide open. There's no dominant team up at the top, so Cozad, like Kearney Catholic, has to feel they have a shot on Thursday to advance to the semifinals.
Southern Valley, the defending C2 state champions, will come into this weekend as a 6 seed. They're going to take on Archbishop Bergen, a team that is rolling right now. They've won 9 in a row, and Southern Valley is literally limping into the state field. I don't say that because they got a wild card berth. I say that because their posts are not healthy right now. Michael Longzine, a kid that has a concussion, he's not going to be available for the Eagles, and then Dylan Brooks and Jeremiah Perkins, both questionable with ankle issues right now. So John Miller is going to be playing a small lineup. Hunter Quinn is going to have to step up. He's going to have to be a man in this one. Alex Kopp is potentially the second biggest starter for Southern Valley. So if the Eagles want to repeat at a state championship, they're going to need to get some big-time performances out of guys that have been there, but guys that are going to need to step up with even more increased roles. Seth Miller, another guy that's going to have to step up, hit some outside shots for the Eagles. And the tough thing about having posts not healthy is that Archbishop Bergen's got a kid in Adam Dickman who is 6'5", can score, can rebound. He can do a little bit of everything. And I don't know if you can really shut down a guy like that without that size. Probably a lot of that responsibility going to be on Hunter Quinn. So if the Eagles are going to make a run in the state tournament like they did last year, going to need to really step up.
The one thing with Southern Valley, they've kind of had to make do all season. They've had players missing games at key stretches throughout the season, and they've still put together a pretty good record.
And it's John Miller at the helm, so he's going to find a way to put a good game plan together and at least keep them close. And our two highest seeds in the state field, Elm Creek and Overton, teams that kind of know each other a little bit. They've already seen each other 3 times. Overton, of course, knocked out Elm Creek in that sub-district final, and Elm Creek gets into state on a wild card berth. They're a team right now that is going to look to have a different performance than they had in that sub-district final. Talked to Tanner Cavaney. He said, you know what, they just need to have a much cleaner performance. They can't turn the ball over 21 times. Very uncharacteristic for Elm Creek. This is a team that has built its season on having that patient offense and being able to get good quality looks in the half court. They're going to look to do that against a pretty good Randolph team, a team that's rolling right now. They beat #1 Howells Dodge, and that kind of opened up the field. Elm Creek almost didn't get into this state field, even though they were #3 in power points. So Elm Creek will gladly take the 3 seed. Overton gladly will take that 4 seed. Eagles come in, playing arguably their best basketball this season. They're riding a 7-game winning streak into state. They beat a ton of good teams in the end of the season, really a backloaded schedule. And that team right now, you know, I'm a Bulls fan. I kind of think with talking about Jay Stair, he reminds me a little bit of Tom Thibodeau. He always says, guys, just do your jobs. Because if Overton takes care of what it can take care of, really focus defensively and get some steals, get out in transition, there might not be a team that can beat them. They really are a wild card. I don't think anybody wants to see them in that state field because when they get going, they are so tough to stop, so tough to slow down. And it really isn't, you know, they're not necessarily a team that needs to shoot 50 or 60% to beat you. They can shoot 30, 40%. It really doesn't matter because if they force teams to get out of their offense and do what they want defensively, they're going to be a really tough out this weekend.
And in Class 2, we had Elwood slipping in as well. They had maybe an easier district path, but Coach Kurt Bonzoff said he'll take it. You know, he's had good teams in the past that have just run into someone else, and they haven't made it to state. This is the Elwood's first trip to state since 1990. They get the #1 seed in Spalding Academy in the first round. But talking to Kurt Bonzoff, he said they've played the Fort Kearney Conference schedule. They've played some really good teams, the Overtons, the Elm Creeks that you were just talking about. They're not afraid to play a Spalding Academy. And they're going to go there. They're obviously going to enjoy the experience. The team hasn't been to state for over a couple decades. They're going to enjoy it, but they're going to go with a mission. They're going to go playing as hard as they can. They've got a score in Skylar Werger that if he goes off, if he has a great game, they're going to put themselves in contention. Again, 14-10 record. They slipped in, but
Spalding Academy's really good.
And they're really good, but they're going to Lincoln. They're going to have fun, but they're going to see what they can do on Thursday, make any magic happen.
Enjoy the experience. We should all enjoy the experience. I know you and I will. We'll be there. We're going to have all the action from Lincoln. You're going to want to follow us on Twitter. That's at @NMHart, at CJ O'Gara, at SportsHub blog. We're going to have all that coverage. Make sure you pick up a print edition of the Kearney Hub Sports section. We've got a preview section that we're working on right now in print. It's going to be a little bit similar to the style that we're doing now, but definitely going to want to check that out. So for Connor O'Gara, Nathan Hart, this has been the Sports Hub. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.